Hi, welcome back to another episode of Historically Inaccurate. Today we're playing Mr. Human Rights Violations. It's a carnival game designed by our team to test people's knowledge of human rights violations around the world. Then we also ask them what they think the US should do based on international policy to help fix the issues that different countries have. Welcome to Mr. Human Rights Violations. Today we have Ukraine on the far left, United States in the middle, Canada on the right. So the way you play this game is I read out a human right and a human rights violation, and you say which country you think it's from and throw the furry ball, don't question it, into the right bucket. If you miss, that's okay, but what's important is that you say the right country. So, the human rights violation is that this country places children in immigration detention centers, and the criminal justice system involves prolonged stints in solitary confinement. So, this country is good, however, because it has a national healthcare program that gives healthcare to anybody who has reasonable need for it.
Okay. I think my guess is going to be Ukraine.
Okay.
Oh, it went into United States.
Okay, but your guess was Ukraine.
Yes.
The correct answer was Canada.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why is it
Because that's what it does. I don't understand.
Why? Okay.
Because it says it here on the paper.
Okay.
So, what do you think the U.S. could do to help Canada fix their problem, or make Canada fix that human rights violation?
Actually, I'm not sure exactly what we could do. It's like more like, I would say, law enforcement problem on their end. So I'm not sure what another country could do. Maybe like talk to leaders there. But otherwise, I don't think we could do much about it.
Diplomacy is your suggestion. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Go away.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay, so are you ready to go?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, this pairing is Ukraine is on the far left, United States is in the middle, Canada.
I know how to hold it.
So, I'll read out the violation and the good part of this country, and then you say which country you think it is and throw it into the bucket.
If I miss, I'm sorry.
All right. This country represses the freedom of expression of their citizens, but they have recently passed an act that demilitarizes all schools. Which country do you think that is?
Canada. Oh, I love you. Am I right?
Was that Canada?
Yes.
Okay, no, that was Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Do you think that the United States could do anything to help Ukraine fix their human rights violations?
So.
Do you have any suggestions?
So what? And they demilitarize schools.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm thinking is that I don't think that most of these solutions can be like helped by the United States. It's more something that we can just kind of like be like, hey, you should do this, but we can't really do much about it because it's not our internal affairs. But I do think that if we could, in an idealistic world, then I think that we should recommend first we should try to get schools militarized again, just because, like, as in the sense that they should have armed officers. Do they not have armed officers?
No, it makes it illegal for wars to be fought in schools.
My bad. So no.
That's the good part of the country.
Okay, so that's the good part of the country. My bad, team. Big brain.
I think we should move on. Alright, welcome to Mr. Human Rights Violations. Today we have Ukraine on the far left, United States in the middle, and Canada on the right. I'll read you a human rights violation and a human right. Now you have to guess which country those two come from and throw the furry ball into the right bucket. So, this country has extensive punishment based on race prejudice and a discriminatory justice system with disproportionate presence of colored individuals in being incarcerated.
The United States?
But they have an extremely open economy and freedom of speech. Which country do you think it is?
United States?
Okay.
Should I throw it?
Yeah.
Oh, really? That never happened.
Well, you're right. That's the United States. Now, what do you think the United States could do to fix the problems in the United States?
I would say that providing more accessible care to prisoners, such as like lawyers, regardless of their economic background, so like whether they come from like high income area, low income, regardless of race and color. I think everyone deserves an equal opportunity for representation, and I think the way that prisoners are treated needs to really be fixed, and they need to be addressed for medical care and medical treatment in prisons, regardless of the punishment that they're given.
That's a really interesting suggestion. Thank you. Welcome to Mr. Human Rights Violations. Today we have Thailand on the left, the United States, Australia on the right. So I'm going to read a human rights violation and a human right, and you're going to guess which country it's from and throw the ball into the right country.
Okay.
So, this country has forced media censorship and banned public assembly. However, they're also one of the first nations to sign the UN's Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
I'm gonna say United States.
Well, the correct answer is Thailand.
I knew it.
Do you think there's anything that the US could do to encourage Thailand to fix its issues?
Well, I don't know enough about Thailand, but like, did you repeat the question? Like,
well, do you think there's anything that the U.S. could do with international policy to encourage it to fix its issues, like trade, troops, funding, diplomats, things like that?
I mean, like, I think the United States should focus on itself, really. But if anything, I think you should spread word to their government, or like, you could send troops. But it's just, for me personally, I don't think it's the United States' business at all for another country. You know.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
So, the human rights violation is that indigenous peoples and people of color are disproportionately represented in the justice system, as in more of them are incarcerated than the white individuals in this country. However, the government helped pass an act to protect people's data through government encryption. What do you think, which country do you think that's from?
Australia.
All right. Well, that was close. Australia is correct. Do you think there's anything that the U.S. could do to help their disproportionate representation in the justice system?
I don't. Based on what I know, I think just overall maybe some government funding we could help out a little bit there and try and just overall assist in the overall process. Not really much specifically.
All right. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
So, welcome to Mr. Human Rights Violations. Today we have Venezuela on the left, the United States middle, and Liberia on the right. So I'm going to ask you a human rights violation and a human right, and you're going to guess which country those are from. Then I'm going to ask you, what do you think the U.S. could do with those? So, this country has war crimes, including violence and abuse against women and girls. However, this country is pushing to find justice for these crimes in the form of a war crimes court that is being promoted by the president. So, which country do you think that is? No, you say which one.
Oh. Liberia.
So you say Liberia? Okay. Throw it in. You're like the second person to get it today. We've done a lot of people.
Yay.
So you're right. Liberia is correct.
Go.
Do you think there's anything that the U.S. could do to help fix these issues?
I think the U.S. should go over to Liberia and be like, stop doing that. And
Like with military prisons?
No, just like peaceful Skype meeting and be like, maybe you shouldn't do that and cause Western influence.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The human rights violation is that this country is notorious for committing acts of violence against people based on their political views. This could be an open act, open assault against this person, or a covert mission to kill them.
Sounds like a Liberia thing to do.
However, they are also trying to improve their international policy by taking on bigger responsibilities in the UN. Now, which country do you think that is?
Liberia.
Did you guess Liberia? Alright, that was close. Actually, the answer is Venezuela.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, what do you think there's anything the U.S. could do to fix this issue in Venezuela with international policy?
I mean, I don't know about anything about Venezuela, but just, yeah.
Do you think they might use like a military presence, tariffs, condemning it publicly, financial incentives?
I'm not sure how the law works there, but definitely getting some laws to help restrict that would be good. I think that the more human rights influence other countries, better. So if the United States could step in as well, things like that.
All right. So if the United States stepped in and encouraged more reasonable human rights.
Where EJ is. Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Thank you for watching. We hope you appreciate the time and effort that we put into these videos. If you're interested in playing at home or reviewing our work, you can click the link in the description. That'll take you right to the rubric for this game. We have all the information outlined there, and our own best guesses of what we think the U.S. should do to solve the world's issues if the U.S. were to get involved in any of these countries in the first place. We hope you like this video and subscribe, and we want to thank you for your time.
Does this man look familiar to you, YouTube? Do you recognize